ladies and gentlemen. It is a Saturday night. You are at the end of a very lovely Saturday night watching college football, currently enjoying the Texas A&M Notre Dame or Ole Miss in Arkansas or South Carolina Vandy, maybe even a little LSU Florida, maybe about to tee off on some Utah State Air Force. But we are back for edition 2 of the NFL CBS Pick'em Challenge, where we have JBonez with us, bringing in the heavy hitters. And I have to say, my friend, the hat looks great, but also 9-7 is not too shabby for our first go around this year. What say you?
Back out the 2 Thursday night losses or Thursday. They don't count. We didn't do a show yet. So 9-5. And I'd say it's pretty damn good. I think. Would we do 4 o'clock at onward? 1 loss?
Well, funny you should ask, because I have it pulled up. Again, Thursday, Friday, we didn't have a show. It's kind of a I talked to you, you talked to me. Let's put something down. And then it got the 1 o'clock slate was a little hairy. The Bengals are frauds. The Falcons suck. They should have won that game. The Dolphins are dead. And then it got hot, my friend. Panthers, Raiders, Cardinals, Jets, Giants, you suck. Broncos ended up pulling it out late. Niners, Packers, Rams, Ravens, and the freaking Bears are done. Don't ever bet on the Bears again, ever. They suck. So got hot there at the end. That was a run there that we had in the afternoon, my friend.
I think you need a pop-up blocker. Your screen got smaller and smaller as you continue to go through those games.
Dude, I know. I don't know what was going on there. CBS has got so much going on here. But anyways, so that was that.
Yes.
And we already had a game the other night where are the Packers
didn't count.
Good
We
or
didn't have a show.
We didn't have a show. Can't count it. So, do you like the Packers though? I mean, everybody else seems to like the Packers.
I mean, they can like the Packers. They're very viable for the second best team in the NFC, and maybe they're going to let him in jacket for it. Dude, they'll be figured out. You can't get hot this early. It's not allowed. They'll figure it out.
They're a
Commanders
classic.
Look like doo-doo, though. They can.
Yes. They look old. They looked old. They look like they were old.
Oh, shocker. It's like they're the oldest team ever. Who would have guessed it? Shame on us for even picking them.
Yeah, that was, I don't know why we did that. But anyways. Okay. So I said this. That's what I was telling everybody at work this week. I was like, the Packers are your classic. They have to be in front, because I don't know if Jordan Love's a win from behind quarterback based off of what I saw the other day. When the game was tight, he was throwing balls that you're like, yeah, I don't know if you should throw that pass, Jordan Love. But he was doing it. So if they get ahead, they're going to run you over. They're like the Ravens, I would assume. But, well, the Ravens choked. Never mind. So,
they did get ahead, and they didn't run anyone over.
Fair.
Redemption arc starts today.
Who, the Chiefs or the Ravens?
Yeah, they started 0-2 last year, so they still have a precedent for poor starts, playoff teams. Figure it out later.
Okay, that's a good point. Plus, the Bills are like the Bills can't beat the Chiefs in the playoffs, and the Ravens just basically can't ever beat the Bills in the playoffs either. So they've got this little, AFC supremacy ring that they've got all going on. So,
well, they just trade off. They can't sweep, and I mean, the Bills should just let the Ravens have week 1. Get them back.
Yeah.
Ravens won regular season, lost playoffs. The Bills are undefeated in the regular season against the Chiefs, and then they get to the playoffs, and Josh Allen doesn't squat, can't push the ball 1 yard.
I was yelling at J-Bo the other day. I was like, y'all got to stop doing the quarterback sneak. That is not your play. It's not your play. I don't care how big Josh Allen is. You guys can't run the sneak. I don't care what's his face says, the tackle. I can't, whatever his name is. Guy who made the offensive line award. Deion Dawkins. Don't care. Don't care if he the snowplow. The guy they can't run the quarterback sneak. That's all I'm saying.
It's wild that they tried to ban a play that no one has even remotely achieved the level of success the Eagles have. even on the college level where there's big quarterbacks. Just go get that. I like what the Chiefs do when they start motioning like a Noah Gray in just to get it. Kelsey maybe sometimes gets it, but I don't know.
Yeah. It's just, it always cracks me up. I love telling Jay by that. I'm like, you guys can't do it. Okay, so we have week 2. We've got 15 games left that we have got to pick against the spread. And so without further ado, this is why everybody's here. Here's what we're gonna do. Okay. Speaking of the Ravens, we're gonna start at 1:00. We've got the Browns at the Ravens. Ravens with a heart-wrenching loss to the Bills after going up 15. Then the Browns, who arguably should have probably beaten the Bengals, but had a heartbreaking interception to lose to the Bengals and then didn't cover because they're a bunch of cowards, and Joe Flacco is a shell of himself, and he's a loser. But the Browns are plus 11.5 at the Ravens. There has been some chatter between the two locker rooms. Jerry Jeudy talking about how they don't really have to do much against the Ravens. And then I don't know what Derrick Henry said, but there's been some back and forth. Joe Flacco revenge game. People forget. What say you on Browns Ravens plus 11.5 for this game?
Oh man, I feel like, I mean, the Browns. We all went into last week saying, "Oh, the Bengals can't possibly start 0-2 again," and they only had 7 yards of offense in the second half, and somehow squeezed out a win. So realistically, the Browns probably should be 1-0. I don't know how they're not. The Browns.
Yes.
So, maybe they're okay, but at the end of the day, you're gonna hear me say this a couple times. Lines don't matter. That's there to scare you off. Ravens bounce back, right the ship, blowout. Don't put people are gonna put the Browns in a teaser thinking, oh, I'm getting the Browns plus 18. I'm in good shape. And they're gonna be like the Dolphins last week where you're gonna get to halftime and realize your teaser's dead.
The Dolphins killed a lot of teasers.
Speaking from experience.
Oh gosh, they suck. And then they had a players only meeting. It's too early for that.
Hey,
it's a 3, 4, 5, 6 games into the season. You don't call the players only meeting one game in.
Well, next is the owner's vote of confidence. So start checking these boxes. We're gonna have some fired head coaches.
I agree. There won't be any revenge glory for Joe Flacco. I think the Ravens beat bad teams badly. Like, they humiliate bad teams. And people are going to be, oh, it's divisional, it's this and that. I don't think the Browns defense is pretty good, but I think the Ravens are going to absolutely annihilate them after what happened last week. This is a statement game for the Ravens.
I think the Flacco thing, I think he may be less revenge mode and more washed up mode. How old is he?
You think he's older than me?
Yeah. So
he's got to be 40.
Bless his heart. He had a great career. Not everyone's Tom Brady,
He doesn't seem like a revenge guy, though. You know what I mean? He's just kind of like, man, I made a lot of money. I got the highest paid quarterback contract ever there I was one of the highest paid players ever there for a while. He's more probably hey, here, do they do a Joe Flacco video montage? For the Ravens?
Home. Coming home. Hey, he did what Lamar couldn't do.
You're exactly right. Can he get a big bro Lamar whenever he goes over there? Hey, put his arm around him like, you'll get one, buddy. Don't you worry. I would love to see a Joe Flacco video. Please, if they do that, somebody tag us. Okay. Let's move on. I think we both in agreement there. Second game we got. Jaguars. Undefeated battle. Jaguars. Say it like that. Wars, not wires.
Jaguars.
Jaguars. There you go. The London Jaguars. Plus 3.5 at Cincinnati. Cincinnati, we just talked about them, that ugly, ugly offensive output against the Browns. Last week, the Jaguars got the Panthers, who suck. Unfortunately, is Trevor Lawrence really him? Is Travis Hunter really him? Is Brian Thomas actually going to be in the game plan? Tank Bigsby out of here. Travis Etienne in. Bengals, all the hot shiny toys. I don't know what to do with this one. This seems like I can we trust the Bengals to do what they're supposed to do? I don't know. What do you think?
Well, shout out to the Jags for sending Tank Bigsby over to the Eagles. Give us a kick returner until it gets figured out. I don't know if the Bengals didn't have 7 yards of offense in the second half, and they lost last week, and this is a 1-0 versus 0-1. What are we thinking? We're thinking up. It's the Bengals. They're going to take a month to get ready. Jags win, but because the Browns couldn't close it out, we're going to make them a 3.5-point favorite at home. Liam Cohen, he knows what he's doing. Called a good play last week.
Oh,
the Bengals have told us who they are. Let's just take the Jags, take the points, and go with it.
Toad Stank says Jaguars and Bengals haven't been 2-0 since 2018. Something's got to give.
Wait. Tie.
Yes.
Jags, Bengals, tie game.
Do I push the @ button right there in the middle?
Hold on. Turn the TikTok camera on. Jags, Bengals, tie game. Heard it here first. There you go. Clip that.
Oh my gosh, dude! If that happens, that would be absolutely incredible. I just don't know that the Bengals are going to be able to do it. They have the 2 outside weapons, and they have Chase Brown, and that's about it. That's the extent, and Joe Burrow. Like you're telling me that those 3 are they're gonna beat people by more than a field goal or by more than a touchdown. And we saw it last weekend against a team that's not supposed to be very good. I don't know. I don't believe it.
Well,
I'm with you.
How about everyone's first round fantasy football draft pick collectively just being doo-doo last week? Bijan Robinson. Jamar Chase was, borderline invisible. Are they going to trade him to the Patriots like the Eagles are going to trade A.J. Brown? You hear that all over Twitter? Like, a lot of guys didn't show up in week 1. So maybe, they fix it. But at the same time, Jags have some dudes still.
They do. I'm sitting here like the Bengals, yes, they have pieces, but the Jags also have pieces.
Well, at their best, too, the Bengals were all offense, no defense.
Yeah.
Last year. So here comes offensive coordinator, offensive head coach.
There you go.
Take the points. Bengals O-line, no good.
No good. It hasn't been good since Joe Burrow got there. But protect the guy. They can't because they paid all their wide receivers, so it doesn't matter. Okay.
Oh, here's a good one.
Yes, this is incredible. Sunday, 1:00 on Fox. The New York Football Giants start Jameis Winston. We need the movement. 6.5-point dogs at Jerry World for the Dallas Cowboys, who nearly everybody's riding high off the we almost won hang the banner week 1 against the Eagles. If this or that, and CD would have caught this, and Dak would have done this, and so didn't spit on who, and whatever. But you've got the Giants, who looked absolutely comical, like a Three Stooges video in the red zone last week, taking on the Cowboys. Cowboys favored by 6.5. I'm sorry. I think that's too much. What say you?
I think that's too much. A lot of chatter on the socials this week about Dak having won 13 straight games against the Giants. Giants haven't won in Dallas since Dak's very first start in 2016. However, they have a problem, and it's a Russell Wilson problem. I saw it firsthand with the Steelers last year. He stinks. I don't know what kind of blackmail he has on all these coaches that keep giving him an opportunity. My wife saw Russell Wilson on the television last week. Goes, how does he still have a job? Little does she know there's a Jackson Dart sitting there waiting to take over this team. I know there was some rumblings at the beginning of the week where Brian Dable was potentially going to ownership and maybe going, blackmail's not that bad, right? However, 4 hours ago, Adam Schefter tweeted out a story. There is, quote, no sense of urgency in the New York Giants organization to bench Russell Wilson and start Jackson Dart. Maybe he comes in and has a little set package of plays. Maybe he could be a threat there. Rule number 1, what did I tell you last week? Get the play sheet out. Here it is. Once again, people, run the damn ball. The Giants couldn't run the damn ball whatsoever. Andrew Thomas was limited in practice this week. I think you just keep it simple here and you take the Cowboys. The problem is the points. And we saw
Yes.
last week the Giants did not score an offensive touchdown. That is the third straight season. The Giants did not score a touchdown in week 1. Hadn't happened previously until I think back when people were going over to fight the Nazis, that the Lions in 1940, 41, 42 didn't score a touchdown in week 1, but they have an excuse. The Giants didn't leave and go fight anyone. I know last year after that happened, there was the infamous week 2 game where they didn't have a kicker. They scored 3 touchdowns, missed 3 extra points, lost by 3 points to the Redskins. Oh, sorry, Commanders. I think you keep it simple. Cowboys win. Giants cover. Neighbors goes off, has himself a nice day. Deron Bland is out.
He is out. Deron Bland
Like Neighbors,
out.
20 catches last season against the Cowboys. So can Russell get him? Can Russell see over that line and get on the tiptoes just high enough to see Malik Neighbors, who admittedly said he has a resting bitch face? When you see him on the sidelines acting out, that's just how he looks. Everyone, calm down.
He did say that, even though he didn't high five his coach.
Yeah,
this is just. I think everybody's gonna. The Cowboys 6. Why? Why are the Cowboys 6.5? Because of Dak?
Well, funny you should mention that, because I was looking at the public money here earlier. Where is it at? Where do I get public money? Public betting. This one's a bit distracting here. 80% Cowboys. They love them. Don't get it. So.
What? Why? Because they played the Eagles well?
Because they're America's team.
Because they played the Eagles well. Oh, shoot. Marcel Reed is down for Texas A&M. The quarterback. Uh-oh. Damn it. If you had Texas A&M 7.5, not mentioning names, you're in trouble here, because they're about to bring in some dude named O'Neal. And I'm sorry, but Johnny Manziel is not walking through that door.
Entertainment purposes only. 86% of the money.
On the Cowboys?
Yeah. G-Men. G-Men.
G-Men. The New York Football Giants. Cam Scatterboo breakout game.
See, there you go, everyone. Heard it here first.
We're taking the Giants. I want to root for the Giants. I wish they had a set of package plays for Jameis Winston, just to get in there and just rip some balls down the field. You know, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, we move on. Bears. The Bears Sunday, 1:00 Fox. Chicago Bears at the Detroit Lions. Chicago Bears coming off an absolutely abysmal loss. At the hands of the Minnesota Vikings, they were up 11 points with 1 minute to go in the third quarter. They proceeded to do absolutely nothing in the fourth quarter. They stink. Caleb Williams is so inaccurate, it's not even funny. Ben Johnson is fuming on the sidelines because he's scheming dudes more wide open than anybody could possibly imagine, and his quarterback's throwing it directly into the stands. That's how bad he's missing people. The Lions, off a humiliating loss to the Packers in Lambeau. Everybody's going, oh my gosh, the Lions, they missed their coordinators. Revenge game, Ben Johnson, so on and so forth. Lions are favored by 5.5. It should be way more than that. The Bears suck. What do you think?
Yeah, I think teams will tell you who they are, and the Bears are stinky. I think Ben Johnson, the darling of the hiring cycle the last 2 years, is probably stupid. Kick the ball out of bounds and get it back. I mean, shout out to head coaches, but brilliant minds aren't going and interning in their 20s for $10 an hour. So you get to these head coaching positions, you're probably still a little bit of a knucklehead. Ben Johnson knows where the warts are at the Lions, sure. Jared Goff, 0-19-1 when Ben Johnson and Sean McVay are calling plays for him. So he's due for a win. Well, I'm just telling you, Lions. They're a Super Bowl contender 12 months ago.
Yeah.
Lost a couple coordinators, and now we're just going to mail it in on them. I think Ben Johnson's probably going to get a little humble pie. You just see the thing. There's the last couple of cycles. There's a Bears tweet that says a new era begins, and you had Eberflus, and you had Ben Johnson, and you had the other guy it's like the same movie over and over again. The Bears are going to be. It's going to get bad before it gets better. I think for the Bears, Lions win, Lions cover.
Agreed.
Remind everyone who they are.
They will. I think this is going to be an absolute massacre. I think this is going to be bad. I watch Caleb Williams play, and you can ESPN First Take me all you want, where they're like, "We're encouraged." He started off 10 for 10. I'm like, okay, half of those were scripted. Secondly, when the game was on the line and Brian Flores threw the kitchen sink, this guy had no idea what he was looking at. He doesn't see the field well. He can run sideways and throw an absolute missile down the line to Roma Dunze. Whoop-de-doo. Who cares? He can't sit in the pocket and hit DJ Moore on basically a wheel route or whatever that was when he's 20 yards wide open. You have to hit that throw. I mean,
Well, yeah, Ben Johnson did a great job of making guys get open, but I don't think he schemed an offense for the Bears. You saw the other side of the ball. It was an ugly start for J.J. McCarthy and the Bengals, but again, a competent offensive coach figured out we had to like do certain things. What do? You got to run the damn ball. Start running the ball, stretching the field, getting run left, run right, and then
safeties to come down a little bit.
Play action. It was easy pitch and catch. Now the pitch and catch will probably still be a problem for the Bears. They did this thing that the Andy Reid invented 20 years ago, where instead of running the ball up the middle, you do a little bubble screen, you get the ball out quick to a receiver. They're trying that, and Caleb Williams is just killing earthworms left and right. Can't even get the ball to a receiver.
He almost got DJ Moore killed at the end of the game because he threw the bubble screen upfield, and DJ Moore had to like jump.
What do the Bears look at on the film and say, let's do that again? Nothing. There's no. We have to run more. So like maybe they can steal some things from the Vikings last week, run more and make play action work. But again, you're trusting Caleb to make that throw, which he couldn't make.
I think the media, they went so hard in that this guy was the next Patrick Mahomes that the lines and everything has not corrected itself yet because they refuse to admit that they were wrong when they should have just been like, this guy's never played in pro style offense. He's never thrown from under center. He's never thrown with a 5-step drop, a 7-step drop. Like he has no pro concepts whatsoever. And then people are like, he's the next guy. And it's the same people we were talking about at the beginning were telling us all these other guys are the next guy. So
here's where they got lucky. They didn't get Caleb Williams with the number 1 pick because they sucked. They got him for the number 1 pick because the Panthers are dumb and thought Bryce Young was going to be there. So they dumped all their picks, stunk again, and then it may be time for them to cycle out, get a new quarterback, have the coordinator pick his guy, or have the coach pick his guy and go with it. But the Caleb Williams experiment, I mean, who would have guessed it? The guy crying in the stands, he lost a game. Stinks. Who had that?
The guy who never sets his feet to throw a football. Can't set his feet to throw a
football. How about
at.
his look on Monday Night Football? So, like, everybody wants their own thing. Guys do the sleeves. Guys do this. Lamar's kind of like lean. Jalen Hurts tapes him up with the Jordans. He comes out wearing like a XXX gray T-shirt.
Tall tees are back, dude. I don't know.
We need a new look. Doesn't work. Doesn't work.
Go extra tight. Or at least if you're going to go go super baggy where it covers like your knees. Like just go overboard with it,
There you go.
Go really capital to Marcel Reed's back. Okay, we're good. Thank goodness. And he threw. Oh, okay. Yeah, Lions are going to kill him. Sunday, 1:00, CBS. Patriots at oh my gosh. Patriots at Dolphins. Patriots plus 1.5. Patriots coming off a grueling loss to the Raiders. Gino from Reno went in to Gillette and shaved the Patriots bald. There we go. Drake May in the Patriots offense did not look that great. The Dolphins in Indianapolis were a laughing stock. Might as well have been the SEC bottom feeder after that performance. The Dolphins then called a players-only meeting, like we mentioned. And I'm just going to say, well, are the ping pong tables still in the locker room? Because if you're having players-only meeting, stuff's getting taken out, like the PS5, the ping pong tables, all that stuff is gone. Get it out. So I have no idea what to do with this game. Plus 1.5 Patriots at Dolphins. I don't know what is going to happen here.
All right, so the Patriots offensive line last week ranked 31st in pass block win rate.
Still?
Yeah. Pressured 40% of dropbacks. He was hit 11 times, yet he still held the ball for the fifth longest time in week 1, and 50 or 44% of his incompletions were on him. He was inaccurate balls. We saw Hunter Henry come off a game with 8 targets, 4 catches. The Dolphins gave up 76 yards on 7 catches to Tyler Warren, so the Henry over 33.5 is something to keep an eye on. Drake May loves his tight ends. But the big piece, I think, for the Patriots is the fact Christian Gonzalez was like, because he's going to play, he's going to play. Didn't play last week. Practiced a little bit this week. Has been ruled out.
Yikes.
I think, again, the NFL is a touchdown league, and teams are never as bad as you think or as good as you think. So, home game in Miami, where we know in September they like to play the games and put the Patriots sitting in the heat. I just looked at the weather, 85 degrees, chance of rain. All that being said, I think we have an opportunity here for a get-right spot for the Dolphins.
That's where I'm leaning. After what I saw from the Patriots last week, I'm kind of like, oh. And nobody wants to take the Dolphins. That was abysmal, but we'll take the Dolphins. Give them to us.
Yep.
I like that.
Well, your favorite game of the day.
Hey, we're going to get the quarterback matchup of the century here in this next game. Sunday, 1:00 on Fox. A game that I used to hate as a 49ers fan back in the teens of the 2000s when Drew Brees, we would have to go every freaking year to New Orleans to play the Saints and Drew Brees and Sean Payton. Hated it. Hated that game every year. But the 49ers on the road at New Orleans, we get Spencer Rattler, we get Mac Jones. The 49ers are falling apart. Their offensive line stinks. Their red zone offense stinks. They just fired their kicker. Trent Williams didn't practice this week. I'm not sure about Juwan Jennings. Christian McCaffrey, yes. I'd be like, they still have Christian McCaffrey. I'm like, I watched every snap of Christian McCaffrey last week. He looks brittle. He looks stiff and brittle. I'm sorry. He just does. But the Saints are awful. They stink. I don't know if I could trust Spencer Rattler. The thing about the Niners is Saleh's calling the defense, and the defense is absolutely legitimate. So we're about to find out what type of team the 49ers have. Their offensive line sucks. So that would be the difference in the game. I don't know what to do here.
People forget Kyle Shanahan wanted Mac Jones.
Yep.
Life happens, didn't get him. Now he's got him. You're going to be gushing. You are going to be a pain in the ass to know when the Niners do it. The Niners do it 1:00 and at 4:00 when you're ripping out the texts to your friends because you're going to think that you're going to have Super Bowl in your short-term vision. It's going to look like that. It's easy. Niners, easiest pick of the day. Kyle Shanahan, Mac Jones. If they don't win, fire them all.
I hate this because I am in such a terrible spot here because I want them to win. But I know that if they win and they win convincingly with Mac Jones, my phone will die from the amount of text messages I will get that Brock Purdy is a system quarterback. No.
Oh. Well, he is a system quarterback. That's fine.
All quarterbacks are system quarterbacks.
Exactly.
But it will be the amount of text messages in the group chat will be outrageous from can Kyle Shanahan do with anybody? Did the Niners overpay Brock Purdy? This and that. Da, 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 da. I did hear a crazy stat about Alvin Kamara's history against the 49ers. His last 5 games, he hasn't gone more than 15 rushing yards against the 49ers. Crazy.
Defense wins games.
That's
how come John Lynch isn't on the hot seat?
He is or is not?
I don't see anyone talking about it. Is he?
No, I don't think so.
Terrible.
Well, everybody likes to talk about obviously the Trey Lance stuff, the kicker, Moody. But they've hit on Mustafa recently. They found Juwan Jennings. They have Brock Purdy. I mean, everybody's, they're ripping these guys for what they've sucked at is developing and drafting an offensive line, which is a problem in the NFL.
Right. Yeah.
But most of the skill and linebackers, things like that, they've done fairly well, in my opinion. So, but anyways, okay. So Niners minus 4.5 at the Saints. Next 1:00 game is this trap game. Sunday 1:00. Buffalo
100%.
Bills 1-0 off their. This is a bad matchup for the Bills, dude. The Bills -6.5 at the New York Jets, and their military service academy running game. And Justin Fields actually looked pretty good now, but that was a revenge game. So the Bills take their 1-0 record to the Jets, 0-1. Jets can run the damn ball. Bills have Josh Allen. The Bills have nothing else. Nothing. So I mean, we saw with Derrick Henry. Now, that's Derrick Henry, but you don't think that the Jets can't run the football against the Buffalo Bills? You are outside of your mind. Outside of your mind. What do you think? +6.5 Jets. Bills -6.5.
Well, you go back to last year, the Jets played them tough. I know the game in December was kind of a, season's over type spot. They turned the ball over a lot. It got away from them, and the Bills pulled away, but the Jets only lost by 3 at MetLife last year. You go back to 2023, that was that opening night where the punter didn't want to lay a hit on the punt returner who went the other way for a walk-off touchdown when Aaron Rodgers blew out his Achilles. You'll forget. Ed Oliver's out. That sucks.
Yikes! Not good.
And
He had a
if
good
you
game
want to
against
be,
Ravens.
if you want to be a team that's running up the middle and Ed Oliver's out, you're probably going to be able to feast. Obviously, the Ravens drew up a bit of a script last week over what's going to work. Joey Bosa is going to take the cheese. So if Justin Fields wants to slip out the exit, he can be able to do that all night. You got to think too, the Bills dumped out the kitchen sink last week just to get that win. I know they were down and had to, count some miracles to get the win, but you look at their schedule, that was a must-win kind of spot to start the season right, and then it gets easier. So that being said, they're dudes. They're thinking, just go and handle your business, get the win. Tosank hit it. Emotional letdown. Breece Hall, another spot I like. Not for the touchdowns, because Braylon Allen's going to eat them up all year. However, chunk yards. He's back to making guys miss. He's back to picking up the big yards. The over-under set at 52.5. I think, maybe 2 or 3 rushes alone. He hits
for
that
this game
over 52.5. Breece Hall, yes.
Okay. Oh, I see what you're saying. 52.5 rushing yards for Breece Hall.
Yeah, over.
Are we going Jets +6.5?
100%. If we were doing 5 picks, this would be one I demand.
Okay. All right. This is okay. I like that. I'm absolutely thrilled for that. I'm not doing it just to spite J-Vi or my mom either. 2 huge Bill fans. I just think that the matchup here is terrible for the Bills because this is a team that ran for like 300 yards last week.
And it was a kick return fumble, or else they're 1-0. And if they're 1-0 and Bills are 1-0, are you thinking it's crazy? Probably not.
No.
Who'd they lose to? Segue.
Bingo. The 2 losers, the Seahawks, with their abysmal offense. They put up a whopping, 14 points against the 49ers at home. Sam Darnold threw for like 6 yards. Seahawks are 0-1. They basically have, I don't know, relegated Kenneth Walker to some shadow realm that I don't even know. Jackson Smith and Jigba, wide receiver I'll admit that. That guy is a freak show. I don't know what they're going to do with uncorking the shiny new toy that you paid for in Sam Darnold, especially against Steelers, who just gave up so much rushing yards to the Jets, who we just mentioned, and the Steelers riding high off of Aaron Rodgers' revenge game. What do they actually have on offense? Is it going to be Calvin Austin? Is their defense really that bad where they can give up that many points whenever they have what you said last week, the most expensive defense? The Steelers are favored 2.5 at home. I think they win. I think the Steelers win this game. I think they get to 2. This is what they do. This is what they do. The Seahawks, their offense looked terrible. I'm sorry. It looked terrible last week. It was inept. What do you think?
Well, quick side note, wide receiver I did a touchdown parlay, 5 to win 400 last week. It was Marvin Harrison, Emeka Egbuka, Garrett Wilson, JSN. The first 3 hit by halftime, and I was like, this is easy $400. JSN against the 49ers. He's going to eat. And he got the yards. He ate. They just didn't have him in the red zone. Do you think it all the way it looked? You talked about the Niners looking good and the Seahawks looking bad. People forget that Sam Darnold comeback tour started in San Francisco. Did they just know him well enough that they could kind of scheme up something to put him back in a spooky seeing ghosts territory they saw against the Patriots? Maybe. I don't know. So What's the Seahawks name? Mike McDonald.
Yeah.
He kicked the game-losing field goal last week. Yeah, gave winning field goal. He kicked game. So the nerds that are supposed to tell him what to do told him to go for it on that play, and he actually admitted they basically didn't trust his team to go for it in that situation.
Oh,
yeah, you don't trust your team. I don't trust you. We got to take the Steelers here.
yeah. I agree.
He's just the referee is
Well,
is
they're
a big
coming all the
road
way
guy.
across the country too, though.
Coming at a 1:00 spot, which people were probably going to love already before we even look at that. Scott Novak, home teams are only 40% against the spread. However, despite this, the Steelers are 3-0 when he's the referee. So
I love a good
take a look
refs.
at that. The last note here, the Seahawks or the Steelers. Last year I learned about this. Cousin Sal does it. You take the team the Steelers are playing in the first half to be leading at halftime, and then the Steelers to win the game. Last week it was 7-1. It hit. This week it's 5-1. If anyone's interested in a little side action. Steelers win, no problem.
Last time the Seahawks were at the Steelers opener, we lost Big Ben's elbow. Hot seat, Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, but in Big Ben just likes to get hurt. That was his kind of,
Yep.
Big Ben needed to get hurt in order to. He's almost Matt Stafford-ish, Matt Stafford
put the
like
walking boot on the map.
He said easy toed. Oh, okay. He did put the walking boot on the map. Last 1:00 game, Sunday, CBS. The 1-0 Los Angeles Rams, the Fighting Sean McVays, at Cam Ward-led worst coach in the league in my opinion. Tennessee Titans. This guy,
dumb.
Callahan, complete jabroni, complete idiot, no clock management skills. The Rams, lucky to get out to be 1-0 because the Texans were driving. Dara Ogunbowale gets the ball punched out. End of story. I don't know what to make. The Rams are basically Puka Nacua, and that's it. Their defense is obviously very good. The Titans went to Denver and got to experience that defense last week. Cam Ward threw some great balls in that game. His receivers did not help him at all by dropping passes left and right. And
you see his dad?
Yeah. So, Titans plus 5.5 at home. Are we crazy? Are we crazy? Am I crazy?
I think it's a similar situation we just did with the Seahawks. You just can't trust an idiot. I mean, they could have just gone in the half, run the ball. He goes pass, punt, ends up giving 8. And then he doesn't know the rules over the elbow or the feet and doesn't challenge a play later. Like, Titans maybe could have won that game last week. But the difference was coaching. And Sean McVay is one of the smart ones. So between that, a strong defense, rookie quarterback, lay the points. Don't let you. They're there to scare you. Titans are too dumb to trust for that reason. Rams.
That's fair. It's a compelling argument. I wanted to do it. I wanted to do it because I like Cam Ward. I was not a Cam Ward fan. I think I said this last week, but I am a Cam Ward fan now because I think he got hosed by not having any primetime games. They didn't talk about him. So I want him to succeed. But his coach is a complete idiot. So, I mean, I'm just sad that we had the complete idiot. The idiotness was overhidden by Will Levis's ability to go viral for playing football. So we didn't know how much of an idiot he was because everybody was talking about what the hell is Will Levis doing, falling backwards and heaving the ball up in the air for no reason. Right? It was like that was all his mishaps were overshadowing how stupid Callahan is. Anyways, Rams minus 5.5. Okay. Starting the 4:00 slate here, we have 3 games. That sucks. Why would we have 3 games?
Because you have a primetime game at 4:25.
Well, you're right. That's Panthers 4-5.
No more 4:00 slate. You do one game of the week at 4:25, and you use the other 2 games for your Tuesday night football and your Friday night football, and you put West Coast teams out there playing at 8:00. Perfect.
I would love that. I would absolutely love that.
Look, Panthers Cardinals on Friday night. How great of a game is that?
Yeah, that's a perfect. That's like Maction. Put them on Tuesday.
Yeah. Well, then you get Broncos Colts to be on Tuesday. Oh,
Maction, basically. Oh, Notre Dame touchdown. That's okay. I think Texas A&M was plus 7.5. If I'm correct. That's okay. Just don't throw a pick. I'm not even going to say it. Not even going to say it.
You kind of said it.
Nope, I didn't say it. Sunday 4-5. Panthers 0-1 at the Cardinals, who did go into New Orleans and beat the Saints. I did not watch that game, and I did see that the Saints uniforms suck. So if the Saints do wear those uniforms again against the Niners, I will count that as a win. Immortal lock of the week. Panthers looked awful. Awful. They look bad against the Jags. I don't really know what else to say other than that. The Cardinals, their defense is a little better. Gannon, Kyler, Marvin Harrison Jr., James Conner, Trey Benson showing some flashes last week. Is this as easy as it looks? Cardinals 6.5 favored.
Feels like a backdoor cover spot. Do something for me. Go look at what we've picked so far. How many dogs? Oh my God, they went for 2.
Are you?
They didn't get it.
Oh, they didn't go for. They dropped the snap.
Snap. Okay.
They dropped the PAT snap.
Oh man.
You have got to be kidding me.
You tried to put your stink on it. An 8-point. Oh God. Yeah. Let's look at our picks so far. How many underdogs have we taken? I know we have the Jets.
All right, we took the Rams minus 5.5, Steelers minus 2.5.
Favorite dog.
Jets, favorite in the Niners, favorite in the Dolphins, favorite in the Lions, underdog Giants, underdog Jags.
Okay.
Favorite in the Ravens.
Right.
So I think we have 3 or 4 underdogs so far out of 10 picks.
All right. Give me the
Are the Cardinals any good?
No, give the Panthers. 100%.
Take the Panthers?
Backdoor cover. It's 21-10, and then there's some kind of like just garbage play with 2 seconds left.
Yeah, Ted McMillan gets his first touchdown of the year or something.
Yep.
Like, oh yeah, look, Ted McMillan, here he comes. Yeah, this is just a game where I watched oh my gosh, Texas A&M. There's a flag. Of course, there's a flag. Why wouldn't there be a flag on a freaking kickoff return touchdown? And this
no fun
idiot on the screen. Oh, God, that's a. You've got to be. Of course there is. It's Notre Dame. They can't lose on NBC at home. But yes, dude.
Yeah, there's been some pretty big ones.
Panthers 6.5. Take the points.
Yes.
I'm giving them to you. Wait, yes, 6.5. Okay, Sunday 4:05.
Peyton Bowl.
Peyton Bowl. Is he going to be on? Is he going to be there?
I don't know. He got yelled at for being on NBC. You think he's going to show up on CBS now?
Broncos 1-0 with escaping the clutch of the Titans, where Bo Nix threw like what 2 or 3 picks. I don't even remember. They looked terrible on offense. Sean McVay was not calling plays that great. Bo Nix was throwing picks left and right. Their defense is extremely good. But the Colts, who shocked the world and absolutely demolished the Dolphins at home last week in the Jim Irsay first game since Jim Irsay passed. Daniel Jones looked competent. Tyler Warren was doing things. I don't know, man. Colts are plus 2.5 against the Broncos. Something about me something's telling me I think it's going to take the Broncos a few weeks to get things figured out. What do you think?
So last year, the Broncos were a very good run defense. I think they're the 5th best, or pass defense rather. Yeah. And despite that, they struggled versus running backs. So running backs were number 7 if you target them, whereas you go to the receivers, tight ends, they were, elite at stopping them. Tony Pollard picked up 29 yards on a single play last week. Jonathan Taylor's over-under is only set at 11.5. He got 27 last week in a blowout, so maybe this is a game where the Broncos are leading. The Colts throwing a little bit more. I like the Jonathan Taylor numbers. Take a look at that if you're interested. That being said, week 1's a liar. I think the Colts probably we're getting points here. I think there's a situation where the preseason line could have been a 3 or 4 or 5. And now the Colts look a little bit sexier in week 1, so people are going to drop that line and take them. That being said, Broncos win, Broncos cover.
Yeah.
Although I was watching him last week, very upset with the national media that was just loving Sean McVay all year and saying how this is going to be a good team. But he's historically not a very good coach in week one.
Mm.
I
Yeah,
think
I
that
think people. I think this is a. If this game was week one, there's no way this would be the line,
right.
right? Like it would be Broncos probably what, like you said, 6, 5, 6, 7, 7.5, somewhere in there. Like because the Colts did what they did to the Dolphins, and because the Broncos looked the way they did against the Titans. I think the Broncos win by a field goal at least.
Yeah.
They have them winning by 1? No, I don't. I'm with you. I think the Broncos. It would be fun to take the Colts and just root for Danny Dimes, but that's again, that's risky.
Week one's a liar. Broncos aren't as bad as they looked. Colts aren't as good as they looked.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Bo Nix missed a lot of throws too. So like
Yeah.
he knows what he needs to do better. What's next, Adam?
Speaking of Bo Nix in the AFC West, the matchup that pretty much has its own. This is the matchup where they have their own slot. I mean, this is the Philadelphia Eagles get their rematch, Super Bowl rematch after the absolute drubbing of the Kansas City Chiefs, which was hilarious to watch. That was incredible. The Kansas City Chiefs hosting the Philadelphia Eagles in the Chiefs home opener. Probably going to be some ceremonies going on. Probably going to be, a lot of talk about is Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes his rival, so on and so forth. Nick Sirianni versus Andy Reid. Haven't the Eagles beaten him like 3 of the last 4 times or 3 times in a row or whatever the hell it's been? I mean, you're an Eagles fan. What is this
Allegedly.
game? What is this game more important to you, or is it more important to the Chiefs? Eagles are favored by 1.5 on the road.
Revenge spots are fun. Historically, there's been 9 times when a Super Bowl has rematched the following season with the team that won the Super Bowl winning 7 of those 9 matchups. The last time that happened, the Eagles did avenge their Super Bowl loss in the desert and beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead on Monday night, which probably just
remember
means
that.
that they should have won the Super Bowl. Shout out Sodfather, who just eliminated all pass rush from that Super Bowl and allowed the Chiefs to win a freebie. Patrick Mahomes has never lost 3 straight games. Okay. He's 12-2 as a home dog. Andy Reid's only started 0-2 one time with the Kansas City Chiefs. It was year 2. But it's the Philadelphia Eagles. It's the wagon that we have in the NFL right now. We're talking dynasties. They should have won in 22. They did win in 24. They're probably going to win in 25. Chris Collinsworth pretended like that they didn't have an elite pass rush on opening night, talking about the guys that left. Yeah, Josh Sweat's gone. Milton Williams is gone. Josh Uche, it all comes out. PFF was the best pass rusher in week 1, had the highest win rate. That was without Jalen Carter. You put Jalen Carter back in the mix, it's going to create havoc in the Chiefs backfield, having flashbacks to the Super Bowl 6 months ago. All right. Opposite Uche, Nolan Smith, top 10 in win rate also. So Marble Mouth Collinsworth talking about pass rush. It's going to be there. It's going to be there all night. The Chiefs are already behind the 8 ball with the Rashee Rice injury. Xavier Worthy gets taken out by his own guy. That's a problem.
Yep.
The one area you want to point to the Eagles had weaknesses, it was that other corner, that named Quinion Mitchell.
Adoree Jackson was so bad.
He wasn't great. And
Bad.
the good news for the Eagles is the Chiefs probably don't even have a receiver to stand over there. So
No. The other matchup is, hey, the Los Angeles Chargers with Keenan Allen absolutely roasted the Kansas City Chiefs secondary. Justin Herbert and those receivers. Quentin Johnston was so wide open that he could catch passes against the Kansas City Chiefs secondary. That's a problem when Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown come to town. I'm sorry. That's an issue.
Sure looked like the Eagles wrote a script in the Super Bowl that the Chargers were happy to read and apply.
Yeah, right?
I think this is an easy one.
It's the same offense. Like against pretty much the same defense. So, but yeah, you're right. I mean, the pass rush is the biggest thing, but I mean, if you've got Devontae Smith running against that secondary and A.J. Brown, and after what Keenan Allen, Quentin Johnston just did, like, come on. Jalen Hurts should have a field day tomorrow.
Also, there was a bit from that week 1 game with Dallas. Now they had the Lightning. They had Jalen Carter missing from defense, so you don't want to have defense out there more than you need to. You talked Bills earlier, dump their kitchen sink into week 1. The Eagles have some tough opponents in the first half of the year, so they can't just go and just drop the whole playbook out in one game. They kind of in that do what we got to do to advance mode. Be our strongest at the end of the year. Week 2 being your strongest isn't the big thing. So, they may win ugly, but I don't think they're going to be a decision where they are nervous about losing, and they'll just get themselves handshakes at the end and a good flight back to Philly.
People are so mad that the Chiefs are underdogs at home. Did you not see Nick Sirianni the last time he walked through those tunnels? Da 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 da. When he was yelling at the fans or whatever. I'm not the biggest Sirianni guy. Yeah,
he's toned it down a bit. He's toned it down a bit.
Well,
he's learning. He's a Super Bowl winning head coach.
So we doing the Eagles?
Yes, doing the Eagles. Chiefs gonna be 0-2, and that piece of filth Ryan Clark's gonna have something to talk about on Monday morning.
I love it because it's it's going to be hilarious if they are 0-2. The Eagles are good. They're good. They have a good roster.
Not the death sentence it used to be with 7 teams.
No, it's just so funny. Like, when does the mystique of they won 3 Super Bowls or whatever it is kind of wear off? Like, everybody's still, back in 2023, 24, or 2022 and 23, Patrick Mahomes did this. It's like, hey man, that was like 3 years ago. His stats are still not great, and they keep winning 1-score games. Like, that's not a recipe for success, in my opinion. Like, I mean, think how many games last year the Chiefs won off some just apps. The Raiders, where they snapped the ball off Aiden O'Connell's chest. The Broncos, where they blocked the field goal. Like, there was like 3 or 4. The Falcons, like on the Monday night game or Sunday night game, there was like 3 or 4, and it was just those things where you're watching like hands on your head, like, how the hell did they just win that game on some BS like that? So
look, what's the benchmark? Tom Brady and Belichick, right? There was a dark 10-year period in there, where the Giants were beating them in Super Bowls. They were not getting the Super Bowls. They were losing in the playoffs. And, I think maybe that's the act we're seeing with Mahomes.
Yeah.
It's just his turn to lose a little bit. That's okay.
Yeah,
they could rebuild and figure out what they need. I think, Travis Kelce isn't what he brought before, and he's probably on his way out, and that'll free up some money to do some things in the other areas. They can come back.
BMO said the new PA announcer in Arrowhead. He said the last guy quit because they tried to get him to change his third down calls. Is that serious? B. McCormick says it's dip season. You're damn right it is, dude. I made some sausage dip last weekend in honorary of football being back. Okay, here we go. 8:20 Sunday night. I don't know how the Vikings continue to get primetime games. So we've got Michael Penix going to Minnesota. The Falcons are the most hilarious fourth quarter team I've ever seen. Penix has more I'm going to dive from 5 yards out than I've ever seen. He had him in Indiana, Washington, and now Atlanta. He's a notorious dive from the 5-yard line guy. The Vikings, their dramatic comeback. Everybody believes J.J. McCarthy's the winner. We all saw what happened in Chicago. The Vikings are favored by 4.5. Vikings do run the damn ball. Let's just say that. I'm not really sure what else to make of this. What say you?
You're leaving out a critical piece. What did we talk about like 5 times last week? We got a revenge game here. J.J. McCarthy, Michael Penix.
Oh.
People forget Michael Penix knocked him out of the college football playoff when Washington was tipped, maybe by Ohio State, that Michigan was stealing plays and put a whole play sheet together of fake plays to call and just throw Michigan off and make things wide open for Washington. That being said, it's short week, short rest. The Vikings are very injured. They are already maybe 4 guys down on the defensive side. They got 2 more questionable. J.J. McCarthy had a baby this week, so he's got dad mode, maybe playing to his advantage.
I didn't know that.
Yep. So he is father of 2 now. He's got Ohio State and this new kid. The Falcons seem to accept their losses on what they've lost to either injury or free agency, the offensive line. They had adjusted Michael Penix's air yards down. He went from being the highest in the league in air yards last season to being ranked 22nd in week 1 this year. So a lot of those quick hitters they're playing to what they have. Bijan. You
Mm,
look at his rushing stats and you're discouraged as a Bijan owner, but you got to just page down a little bit more because he was very present in the passing game. He went for 100
yes.
yards. This week his prop is only set at 26 and a half. Now, granted, he did have a 50-yard touchdown, but he did have 50 yards still, 5 other catches. So,
Whoa.
in terms of rushing, he's hit 10 times in the backfield on his 12 runs. So it's difficult, but you get him incorporating in those other avenues via the passing game and the Vikings injuries and JJ McCarthy, king of the mental rep, not exactly being there all week preparing for this game. I think you have a situation where the Falcons could probably shock the world. 2 1-1 teams makes a lot of sense when you step back. Oh, Falcons 1-1, Vikings are 1-1. Perfect. What's on Monday night?
I don't. Yeah, I don't know why. I'm on board with that. I think.
Too many injuries. Injuries matter.
Yeah. I think. I just the Bears suck, so I don't believe anything the Vikings did. Right. I'm watching the end of that game. Like JJ McCarthy was deer in the headlights for like 3.5 quarters, and then finally said, "Hey, I have Justin Jefferson. Let me just try to throw it to that guy." And then they started running the ball. Jordan Mason looked incredible. Of course he did. So I don't know. I trust Michael Penix right more than I do JJ McCarthy. I know JJ McCarthy had a good win, and he played well down the stretch, but I don't know. For him to go to, I don't think so. Then we move to Monday. We get 2 games. The 1-0 Buccaneers, plus 2.5 at the Houston Texans. The Buccaneers beat said Falcons last week on a bomb to Emeka Egbuka, which was awesome. And then Younghoe Koo misses the field goal to tie the game to go into overtime. And that's how the Falcons are 1. That's how the Bucs are 1-0. Baker Mayfield started off slow. The offense started off slow, but they turned it on, got things done. Oh my gosh, he almost threw a pick, you idiot. And then the Texans lose in heartbreaking fashion to the Rams. I don't know what that offense is doing. The Rams defense is good, but the Texans offense looks pedestrian at best. What say you?
So CJ Stroud was pressured on 47% of dropbacks, which was
Not
second
shocked.
only to Cam Ward. And as a result, he had the second fewest throws of 10 plus yards. And then, of course, because of that pass rush, shout out Collinsworth, you hear that pass rush, no marble mouth from me. Third fewest in play action usage, again, to that rush. They only had 1 red zone drive, and that drive actually didn't even end in the red zone because they got sacked, had to kick a field goal. The Buccaneers did a good job defending wide receiver passes. The Falcons' success came using, the running backs, like I mentioned, to Bijan and tight ends. The problem for the Texans is their tight end, Kate Stover, who had a good game with 4 catches. He's out due to injury. The Bucs had a combined 2 catches for 17 yards. So again, the weakness for the Texans. The Bucs really aren't highlighting too much. I think there's another piece to consider here. We talk Liam Cohen and the Jaguars. I think the Bucs may miss Liam Cohen. Baker, who, his turnaround came with a lot of, conservative throws. He's now jumped to the 4th highest in depth of target. So that was 34th last year. There's 32 starting quarterbacks. He was 34th in deep throws.
Wow.
Now he's 4th. So I think maybe if they could scale it back, go more conservative, and put Baker back in his wheelhouse, you could build on that. Houston's defense is stingy. So I don't know the same game plan we saw last week is going to be what they roll out this week. Josh Gibbs obviously knows what he's doing. Baker last week only 53% completion percentage. So if that pass rush is an issue, that could dip a little bit more. Texas defense is scary, good.
Yeah.
The offense didn't look very good against the Rams, though. So all that being said, we come back to you here. They're telling you the Texans are 2.5 favorite. I think this is another situation where you have a 1-0 versus 0-0. New little ricochet slingshot action. Texans win and cover.
I agree.
2 1-1 teams. We wake up Monday morning and go, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. The Bucs, they were interesting to watch last week. I remember watching that game and I'm like, their offense does not look the same.
So fun fact, that Emeka Egbuka pass, they had that game-winning drive. They actually ran the same exact play, flipped like the 40-yard line, and they chose to go to like a guy doing a little curl route, picked up the first down. but they clearly saw upstairs what the safeties were positioning. And if you flipped it, had it, there you go. Make the throw, make the catch. Bucks win.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was really
phenomenal.
Cool. Ibuka, shout out.
Ibuka and also Baker just being like dagger straight to your heart, Atlanta, right in your face.
He needed that win, right? Because despite winning the division last year, they lost both games to the Falcons. So in an ownership league, they kind of needed that one.
Oh!
I don't think it was a pick six.
Did you see that?
No, he hasn't snapped it yet on YouTube TV.
Okay, are you watching Texas A&M?
Yeah, motion coming across, snaps it, drops back, some holds, pump fakes, fires, tight end catch. 13 seconds. I want to know where Lou Holtz is right now.
0-2 Notre Dame. Oh my gosh.
That's crazy.
That's bad. What a world we're living in. Clemson 1-2, Notre Dame 0-2.
Is Clemson
Marcus
lose?
Freeman? What?
Clemson lost.
Clemson lost.
Dabo.
To the rambling wreck from Georgia. Dude, Haynes King is I love that guy. He's Tebow. Haynes King is Tebow. This is our generation. This is the next generation's Tebow.
Notre Dame should be so good. Big offensive line. Good run. They don't know how to run the ball.
Who?
They don't know how to run the ball. Notre Dame.
Yeah, I don't know. They have that Jeremiah Love guy.
He should be good.
He is good, but they refuse to give the ball to the hot hand who was the other. I don't know what the other running back's name was, but he was running wild. I mean, running wild. Last game, Monday night, late night. Love this. Chargers at Raiders. The Raiders. AFC West clash. Chargers off their throttling of the Chiefs for everybody to see on Netflix with their stupid halftime show and Cam Newton talking about nothing, giving no examples, no breakdowns of anything. That's what I'm talking about. Toad saying, I don't know who's winning Monday, but I know who's winning tonight.
Oh, it's going down. All right, good to know.
Oh, Oregon is fake news. Didn't cover the spread by half. Yeah, dude. Oregon. We never mind. That's a agree. But the Chargers smacked the Chiefs around, exposed their secondary. Harbaugh signature win. Chiefs on panic alert. Herbert looked awesome. Signature win for him, people are saying. Quentin Johnston was catching footballs. Keenan Allen was back in stride. And then the Raiders go across the country. They take care of the darling upstart New England Patriots with Mike Vrabel and Drake May and all Pete Carroll and old Geno Smith do. They roll in there and absolutely spin put the Patriots over their knee. And Geno Smith threw for over 300 yards. Brock Bowers, though, I don't know if he's going to be playing in this game. This is actually kind of fun. Winner is going to have a driver's seat in the AFC West, along with possibly Denver. So what say you? Chargers, Raiders, 3.5-point dogs at home. Thoughts?
Well, so it's an interesting spot. We're picking it on a Saturday night, but in 24 hours, we could have new information because there's a question I have is, are the Chargers just really good now? Like the Harbaugh thing, year 2, they're really good. I mean, that's kind of his MO in every stop he's ever made. So maybe the Chiefs are still the Chiefs, but the Chargers are now the Chargers.
Go
Pete Carroll versus Jim Harbaugh's back. Did you know they're 6-6 against each other?
Woo! Rivalry.
Yep. In the NFL, Carroll has the edge, 5-4. Geno Smith now finally is a dome quarterback. So, the last 3 years indoors, he has a 20 touchdown to 3 interception ratio. Compared to outdoors, he's 53-33. However you said it, Brock Bowers, he's out. I think he's definitely on the injury report.
I know he wasn't practicing because of his knee.
Yeah, that's I think too big of an injury to be worried about. As well as I think the Chargers are going to be a wagon this year. I think you look at them, they've got talent, both sides of the ball, skill positions, linemen. It didn't even people forget they lost their tackle and they just still road graded against the Chiefs. Chargers 2-0, and then looks like they have it lined up. And again, Raiders are 1-1 after 2 weeks. Oh, that makes sense. I think that's an easy one when you wake up on Monday morning.
I think let's not act like the Raiders completely dominated the Patriots. That was an ugly game. Like
Which I mentioned earlier, Christian Gonzalez being out was something.
Yeah, that was the first thing we said when we looked at the game. We're like, this line sucks because Christian Gonzalez is out, and that is not good. And that's a huge deal because then you don't have Jacoby Myers and company running wild, which, I mean, not like Jacoby Myers runs wild individually, but I just want to say right now, I put out a tweet before the college football season started of my teams to keep an eye on to win their conferences or to be in the conference championships. And it was Texas A&M was one of those. Georgia Tech was one of those. Illinois was one of those. So Georgia Tech and Texas A&M, victory lap right now, week 3. You have to take your victory laps whenever they present themselves. Just like I did last week.
Good?
Do what?
Is Illinois still good?
Supposedly.
Oh,
They have the easiest. They have the Indiana schedule from last year of the Big Ten.
Well, they got Ohio State coming to town in a month.
Yep. What a game. What a game. Notre Dame's 0-2. Okay, Chargers minus 3.5. There we go. I'm on board with that. I think the Raiders winning on the road is going to fool a lot of people. I think the Chargers might throttle them. Also, Pete Carroll and Jim Harbaugh had a media beef this week. I don't know if you saw that.
Ooh, wait, all right, time out real quick.
Come on. They did.
Here's a question. Did you see this? Youngstown State said shout out to the Chargers for visiting us this week.
Huh?
Yeah. Youngstown State tweeted about the Chargers. I'm not a flat earther. I don't think Youngstown is somewhere between Brazil and Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
But Youngstown State played Michigan State today. Michigan State still won. But Harbaugh in the building before that game is a very interesting dynamic. What was the beef?
Oh, they were just somebody asked Pete Carroll about his relationship with Jim Harbaugh, and he was just saying, we don't get along and this and that. And I don't like him. He doesn't like me, going back, what was it? Stanford, USC, and then San Francisco and Seattle. And I mean, there's now LA and Las Vegas, which is weird to say it. I wanted to say San Diego and Oakland, but no. But yeah, they were getting a little, they were spatting off at the mouth, which is, hey, that's what I'm talking. You're that age and you still got beef and you still got dog in that fight. Let's go.
They're gonna play good football, them Chargers. Pound the rock, be physical, win the trenches. Look out.
Tiebreakers. Tampa Bay at Houston. How many points for Tampa Bay? I don't know what the over-under is. I can look it up right here.
45.5. Oh, no, that one's 46.5.
This one says 42.5. So.
Oh.
Yeah. That's the matchup analysis from BetMGM is 42.5.
Oh, no, mine. Oh, it opened at 46. You're right. It's 42.5 now. So let's do a good old-fashioned 24-20.
That's what I'm thinking. We think 24-20 in favor of Houston. I agree.
I think, hold on one second. Maybe we need to reassess this.
Reassess. Calibrate.
This says Texans are getting 92% of the money. No, it's the over-under. Never mind. We're good.
Okay. We're good. All right, good. I was about to be nervous. It's tough to bet against. It's tough to bet against Baker.
Change this. We're getting a shootout. 31-28.
Let's do it. I'm all for it. Bet the over. Baker, you kidding me? Baker loves the overs.
Yeah. And then it's going to lead into just an absolute slugfest, boring game.
Yeah. This one is, hold on, let's see. This is a perfect, over under 46.5 at
24-14. No, 21-13.
In favor of the Chargers.
Yeah. No, 20-13.
33, just
a lot
grossly
of settling
under.
A lot of settling for field goals.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Jim Harbaugh, Pete Carroll.
4 field goals, yeah.
Red zone defense is going to be off the charts.
I hate new kickoff rules for the record.
Yeah, those suck.
1 first down, you're in field goal range.
Hate it. They're trying to manufacture points. I hate it. I can't stand it.
I like sustained drives.
Let's do a rundown of this 15-1 week that we're about to give out. We've got the Ravens at minus 11.5 taking on the Browns, and we've got the Jags plus 3.5 at Cincy. The Giants plus 6.5 at Cowboys. The Lions minus 5.5 taking on the Bears. They suck. Caleb Williams stinks. The Dolphins minus 1.5 taking on the Patriots. The 49ers minus 4.5 at the Saints. Jets plus 6.5 taking on the Bills. The Steelers minus 2.5 hosting the Seahawks. The Rams minus 5.5 on the road in Tennessee. The Panthers plus 6.5 on the road in Arizona. The Broncos minus 2.5 on the road in Indy. The Eagles minus 1.5 at the Chiefs. The Falcons plus 4.5 at Minnesota. The Texans minus 2.5 hosting the Bucks. And the Chargers minus 3.5 at the Raiders. That's 15-1 if I've ever seen it.
We took the Jags, right?
We did take the Jags plus 3.5.
15-1. No, 14-1. One game already played.
Right. So then it would be 15-0.
15-0. Okay.
That's 15-0.
We're gonna parlay it. One to win $17,000.
Yes.
I'll split it with you.
I'm gonna put it into.
Okay. I won't split it. Do it yourself.
Yes, I will. I will put that in myself. You better believe it. Okay, that's it, man. Let me say. Well, actually, let me save this. All this hard work would be an absolute tragedy. Oh, something went wrong.
Oops, looks like something went wrong.
Nope. They got me with the college football one yesterday. We're saved. We're in there.
Beautiful.
And we are not changing a damn thing. There we go.
Wait, what's that? Your three biggest dogs? Put them in a parlay.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Get out of here.
That is just.
I will make my own dogs.
Oh.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Right.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen.
GG's.
There's the picks. 15-0. Give the people a silly game that's going to be a 21-plus point blowout flyer. JBonez, is there one that's going to be a 21-plus blow? Like, give us an Indianapolis Colts week 1 against the.
Well, I think the Ravens is one. They're going to just roll up the Brownies. The who played the Titans?
The Broncos plays the Titans.
That was last week. Rams blowout.
Oh, Rams. Really?
Rams kill your teaser. 49ers.
Don't
there you
do
go.
that. I feel
Here's
like
your
you're buttering
parlay.
me up. I feel
Here's
like
your
you're buttering
parlay.
me up.
Double-digit winners. Ravens, which is easy. That's the spread. I'm not, a savant or anything. Ravens, 49ers, Rams, double-digit winners.
Bump the lines up to at least 10.5. All those. Do it.
Yeah.
Don't be a coward.
Do it, lady.
Okay. All right. Let's get out of here. I love talking football. This is everybody listening to the podcast. Thank you very much. Things have been going well on the numbers. We appreciate that. Support the show by going to our social media handles and yelling at us in the comments and liking and subscribing and following and rating and reviewing and all that stuff. That's basically what we've got going on here. We will be back again tomorrow night. I appreciate JBonez coming on and giving out knowledge and talking NFL football on a Saturday night because we love football. Do you have anything to add, my friend? All right. Good luck, everybody. We will see you next week. And we'll also see you tomorrow night to recap the games. Let's go.